In the beginning, there was nothing in which the universe consisted. A great chaotic ocean and a curve emerged. Amidst this primordial chaos, Ben was a huge pyramid. There was a lotus flower with Ben, and when it bloomed, it brought the God-made into the world, and light came with him. Rob himself generated the first generations of the Shu of God, the god of air, and Tefnut, the goddess of rain, was born. The universe was enveloped by a vast mass of primordial waters. Shu and Tefnut dove into the waters to explore its immensity. Rob became distressed upon realizing that his children were taking too long to return and, fearing never seeing them again, sent his best messenger to find them. Shu and Tefnut returned safe and sound. The joy of Andros was so immense that human beings were born from his tears. After returning, his children generated in turn Gib, the god of the earth, and not the goddess of the sky, and the sky and earth were created. The great god Ra sovereignly ruled the power of the universe and received the title of the first pharaoh. The god gifted Egypt with various sacred animals, such as the ox and the lion, but his greatest offering was the creation of the Nile River. Around its banks, men would eat a civilization that glorified the gods. But Raja had the premonition that his grandchildren would give birth to a new generation of gods that would put an end to his reign. And so the great god forbade the sky and the earth from having any offspring. But Nut and Gap disobeyed and gave rise to a powerful lineage: Isis, Nephth, Seth, and Osiris. They dethroned Ra, and Osiris began to reign upon the world. But the throne of the new god was not secure because his brother Seth was eager to take all the power for himself. And so began the saga of the Egyptian gods. Osiris and Seth ***. After deposing the god Ra, the deity that gave rise to the Egyptian world, Osiris became the new god of the universe. The new supreme god took the goddess Isis as his wife and initiated a reign of great prosperity. Osiris brought civilization to men who, until then, lived quite primitively. The god taught them agriculture, weaving, and how to make bread. Moreover, he read the use of laws that would bring order to chaos. Egyptian civilization began to flourish under the reign of the benevolent god Osiris. However, Osiris had a powerful and ambitious brother, Seth. His kingdom lay in the arid desert surrounding Egypt, and because of this, he was jealous of his brother, who had a fertile and prosperous kingdom. Osiris had an affair with Nephthys, Seth's wife, and Anubis, the god of the dead, emerged from this union. Irritated with his brother's betrayal, Seth prepared his revenge. The god of dry lands and the personification of evil invited Osiris to a great feast in his honor. During the party, Seth presented the guests with a beautiful coffin and said he would offer it to whoever fit perfectly inside it. Osiris decided to try it, and immediately after settling in, the coffin was closed, trapping the god. The god of evil threw the coffin into the Nile, drowning the supreme god. Isis wept deeply after losing her beloved husband, and these tears poured into the Nile River, giving rise to its traditional floods. The goddess and her sister Nephthys searched for Osiris' body, and after finding it, Isis tried to hide it, but even so, Seth saw it and broke it into 42 pieces, spreading them throughout Egypt. Isis, with Anubis' help, recovered the pieces. Under the guidance of the god of the dead, she mummified Osiris using her divine powers. The goddess was able to resurrect her love, but Osiris would now reign upon the world of the dead. After coming back to life, Osiris had a son with Isis. His name was Horus, and he swore he would defeat Seth, the usurper of the throne that was rightfully his. Horus versus Seth ***. Seth, the god of destruction, murdered Osiris, the god who reigned supreme in Egyptian mythology. Seth took his brother's throne for himself and unleashed his reign of terror. However, Osiris had an heir with the goddess Isis. His name was Horus. He was a falcon god whose prophecy said he would reign over the heavens and bring light back to Egypt, ending the darkness brought by Seth. Horus, now an adult, decided to claim his throne, which had been usurped by his uncle. The dispute was judged by the gods. While the court presided over by the sun god Ra decided who was worthy to sit on the throne, a series of confrontations between Santa Claus and Horus had begun, and it was said that there was sympathy since the usurper protected the sun god from the serpent Apophis. Meanwhile, the sky set proposed a challenge to Horus. Both had to transform into hippopotamuses and remain submerged for 3 months. Horus trusted his mother, the goddess Isis, to take advantage of Seth's vulnerability to kill him. The goddess felt sympathy for Seth and could not kill him. This betrayal enraged Horus, who then attacked his mother, cutting off her head. The god spoke, and the deity of knowledge saved the goddess by replacing the severed head with a cow's head. The confrontation between Saturn and Horus continued for many years. While fighting in the desert, Seth managed to rip out Horus's eyes. With the help of Atha, the goddess of love, Horus had his vision restored. The court of the gods demanded a reconciliation between Saturn and Horus. The evil god pretended to be benevolent and invited Horus to a banquet in his palace. During the night, Seth tried to abuse his nephew, making him unworthy of the throne. However, Horus managed to defend himself and prevent the god's poisonous seed. Horus decided to take revenge, and with the help of the goddess Isis, he placed his divine seed in lettuce leaves, which were then offered by the goddess to Seth. The god of arid deserts ate the contaminated lettuce. The set of poison began to deteriorate before everyone, and a golden disc emerged on his forehead. Horus grabbed the shining disc and embedded it in his own head. Seth was humiliated, and then, after 80 years, the court granted the throne to Horus. It was rightfully his. Isis could not be prouder to see her son with Osiris assuming his father's throne. The establishment of this destiny was to travel with the sun god across the heavens, and his enraged cries could be heard like thunder. And so began Horus's reign over Egypt, and all the pharaohs who once ruled Egypt were among his descendants. After 80 years of conflict, Horus finally took the throne that was rightfully his. His reign was marked by order and justice, following the teachings of his father, Osiris. Horus was the god of the sky, and the falcon-headed deity ruled Egypt wisely, ensuring prosperity to his people. He became the model for all pharaohs who would follow, as each was considered his descendant and the divine ruler of Egypt. However, Seth was not entirely defeated. Although he lost the throne, the god of chaos still held an important role in the divine order. The great god Ra decided that Seth would serve as the protector of the sun god's boat, defending it from the serpent Apophis, who sought to bring eternal darkness to the world. Every night, Seth fought against the great serpent, ensuring that the sun would rise again each morning. Meanwhile, Osiris reigned over the underworld, receiving the souls of the dead and judging them according to their deeds. Those who led a righteous life were granted a place in the field of reeds, a paradise where they would live in peace for eternity. But those who were judged unworthy faced destruction, their souls consumed by Amit, the devourer of the dead. The eternal cycle of balance between order and chaos, light and darkness, was established, and thus, the saga of the Egyptian gods continued for eternity, shaping the destiny of Egypt and its people. Thanks for joining me on this cosmic journey. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Space Universe 016 for more amazing space content. See you in the next adventure.